Ever feel torn between work and family? David thought success meant providing more, working harder. But one night, a simple drawing from his son, a red cape representing his absent father, shattered his world. Discover how David redefined success, learning that the greatest gift isn't money, but presence. A powerful story about balancing ambition and the love that truly matters. David sat alone in his cluttered home office, the cold glow of his laptop reflecting in his tired eyes. Late into the night, the blueprints before him blurred with exhaustion. The house was quiet, except for the soft hum of the night and the occasional creak of settling wood. Down the hall, Noah's door was ajar, a sliver of warm light spilling out. It was long past his bedtime. David had promised to tuck him in, but a critical work call had kept him chained to his desk. He reassured himself this project would mean security, a better home for his family. Success for David was measured in achievements and dollars earned. But as he looked toward the dimly lit doorway, a knot of guilt settled heavy in his chest. He could almost hear Noah asking for his bedtime story. The pressure to deliver at work weighed against the silent longing of a child in the next room. Finally, with a weary breath, David closed his laptop. Noah's bedroom smelled faintly of crayons and bedtime lotion. The small bed was neatly made, stuffed animals cuddled under the blanket. On the floor beside the bed lay a piece of paper, edged in crumpled corners. David picked it up, feeling a sudden flutter of emotion. It was a drawing Noah had made at school, a portrait of their family. His wife was smiling, with open arms. Noah stood beside her, bright and playful. But in the spot where David should be, there was only a hastily scribbled red superhero cape floating empty in the middle of the page. Below the cape, in childish scrawl, the words read, "Daddy at work." The drawing hit David like a physical blow. To his son, he wasn't a person anymore, he was just an absence, a symbol of something else, the job that kept him away. It was a silent but powerful message, one that shattered the carefully constructed walls of productivity and ambition David had built around himself. Tears pricked David's eyes as he gently placed the drawing on the bedside table. Noah's peaceful breathing made the room feel sacred. In that moment, David realized something so profound it felt almost too simple. Noah didn't want a bigger house or more money. He wanted his father. The hours of overtime, the endless meetings, the late nights filled with deadlines, they weren't what mattered most. What truly mattered was presence, connection, moments shared. Those simple, ordinary things that built a child's heart. The next morning, David woke with a clarity he hadn't felt in years. The drawing stayed vivid in his mind. At work, he took a deep breath and called his boss. "I need to leave at 5 p.m. sharp from now on," David said firmly. There was a pause on the other end. Then a few begrudging words of understanding.
It was a terrifying career move, but David knew it was necessary.
That evening, he walked through the front door, just as the sun dipped below the horizon. Noah, who was playing in the living room with his mother, looked up, and his eyes grew wide with surprise and joy. David dropped his bag, crouched down, and scooped his son into a big hug. Noah's little arms wrapped tightly around him, and in that embrace was a love more valuable than any paycheck. David wasn't earning overtime anymore, but for the first time in months, he felt like he was truly providing what his family needed most: his presence. He gave them his time and his love. And as Noah's fill the room, David knew this was the success worth chasing. David never missed another bedtime story or school play or family dinner again. And sometimes Noah would draw his dad not as an empty cape, but as the superhero he truly was. A real-life superhero, right there in their home. The red cape had found its hero.